This is your source for breaking news in the morning. Hawaii News Now Sunrise, early edition.
It's 4:30 and happening now. The search for a young woman after she made threats to the Denver area is going on. Authorities say that she is infatuated with the Columbine shootings. 4 people survived a helicopter crash above Hau'ula. A federal investigation is now underway. We'll have details on that. First up, though, how's our weather looking, Guy?
Weather's looking pretty nice, Grace. We've got trade winds on the way. They'll be strengthening through tomorrow. Not all that strong today, but they'll be running at moderate speeds. They are pushing in some windward and Mauka showers. It's pretty damp this morning for windward areas. Leeward side's not so much, but a drier weekend is ahead. Also, an east swell will be building as those trade winds build. You can see the satellites blinking this morning, kind of waking up a little early, but we are seeing some scattered showers, mainly for those windward areas. Light to moderate rainfall totals are what we can expect. And with those trade winds, some of those showers might be drifting over to leeward sides every now and then, but we're not expecting a whole lot of rain for the leeward sides. Even the windward sides, rainfall totals will end up being light to moderate at best. And with those easterly winds, it's going to be a little choppy on the east side, but overall, surf is going to be running less than head high. Now let's check on traffic, Lacey.
And we have an accident, Guy. If you're traveling out of Eva Beach this morning, you're going to want to allow some extra time. It is on the Kunia Road on-ramp to the H1 eastbound. It's off on the right side. We already got HPD working, but you can see it's backed up traffic flow before the Farrington Highway overpass. So you might want to take Farrington Highway as your alternate route. Take that Waipahu exit. We're looking really nice there despite the wet roads. Again, you're just going to want to avoid using that Kunia Road on-ramp to get onto the H1 eastbound this morning. We'll let you know as soon as that clears. Now on the freeway, not looking bad at all. A nice ride from Kunia through Pearl City. And we got no hot spots heading in from the east or windward sides. Town spots looking nice from the Middle Street merge. Grace, back to you.
All right, thanks, Lacey and Guy. Happening now, authorities are searching for a young woman accused of making threats in the Denver area. Now, those threats come just days ahead of the 20th commemoration of the Columbine massacre. Laura Podesta has the latest on this.
All schools closed. Denver public schools and surrounding districts are canceling class today as police search for a woman they say is infatuated with the Columbine massacre and has made threats surrounding its 20th anniversary on Saturday.
This has become a massive manhunt in this AOR, and every law enforcement agency is participating and helping in this effort.
Sol Pais, pictured here, traveled to Colorado from South Florida Monday night and, according to investigators, purchased a weapon and ammunition. The 18-year-old was last seen wearing a black T-shirt, camouflage pants, and black boots in the foothills of Jefferson County. While she's made no specific threat to any particular school, students are on alert.
So many things were just rolling through my head, like if somebody had a gun.
Sometimes taking more precaution around those sort of times makes sense. Unfortunately, that's just where we're at right now.
Authorities say with Colorado's history of mass shootings, they are taking no chances, which is why they chose to cancel school today. 13 students and faculty were shot and killed at Columbine High School in 1999. In July of 2012, in Aurora, Colorado, a masked gunman shot and killed 12 people in a movie theater. Laura Podesta, CBS News.
A federal investigation is underway to determine what exactly brought down a helicopter in Sacred Falls State Park in Hau'ula. All 4 people on that chopper walked away with only minor injuries. The team had just installed seabird song meters at the Kaluanui Natural Reserve area. The FAA says that around 11:30 yesterday morning, the helicopter experienced a loss of engine power. The DLNR says that the pilot put the helicopter into auto rotate, and they nearly made it to a flat area to land when they crashed in a gully.
When it lands upside down and you lose both of the rotors, it's just really a miracle, and we're so thankful that they all basically walked away from it. That usually in a crash, the way it was described to me, that usually doesn't happen, so we're just really thankful that they're all okay.
That upside down chopper is still in a remote area in the mountains, as you can see. Paradise Helicopters, which owns the aircraft, says it is cooperating with authorities. An Oahu mother says that she is disgusted that the man she accuses of raping her daughter was sentenced to probation. The mother says that she was misled to agree to a plea deal, which drastically lowered the charges and his punishment. Chelsea Davis reports.
He gets to be on probation for repeatedly raping a 6-year-old child.
Maria Teherina is still convinced Todd Brugman is a child predator. He was indicted in 2015 on charges of having sex with her daughter at his Waikiki condo while Teherina worked at his wife's business. 4 years later, after spending several days in jail, Brugman is convicted on lesser charges, gets probation, no additional jail time, and must pay $200 in restitution. His lawyer says justice has been served.
These cases are extremely emotional, and I understand that. My client's family truly believes he's innocent, as he does, and I understand that their family believes he's guilty, and I understand that it's emotional.
Congratulations, Otaki. You got a child rapist off on probation. Very good.
In a statement, the prosecutor's office tells us it met with Teherina several times, and to spare her daughter the trauma of having to testify, the victim's mother agreed to a plea agreement. That agreement was accepted, and the defendant was sentenced in accordance with that agreement. Teherina admits she agreed to the deal, but says she was pressured and overwhelmed.
The prosecutor's office called me and told me that I would be a bad mother if I were to put her on the stand.
Part of why we entered this plea agreement, pled no contest, was, in part so that everybody could, put this behind them, so that the girl did not need to testify in court, and, we hope that everything works out for all parties in this case.
We need to do something more about this and not let Hawaii be a safe haven for predators.
Chelsea Davis, Hawaii News Now.
Also, Todd Brugman does not have to register as a sex offender. The victim's mother says that she now plans to file a civil suit. Honolulu police gave the all clear after investigating a report of a possible grenade inside a reportedly stolen car. A bomb squad was called to the parking lot of the Liliha Times supermarket. This was just after 1 o'clock yesterday. Police say the device was not a grenade. On Maui, firefighters rescued a visitor who fell from a haunted cliff on Monday afternoon. Authorities say that she slid about 30 feet and then landed on the rocks near Red Sand Beach. The 56-year-old broke at least one bone and hurt her shoulder. She was airlifted to Hana Ball Field and taken to the Maui Memorial Medical Center. Maui Mayor Mike Victorino has nominated a former Honolulu rail engineer to serve as the Deputy Director of the Public Works Department. Victorino says that Steve Welling has a diverse set of civil construction and project management skills. If confirmed, Welling will replace Acting Director Rowena Dagdagandaya. Howard.
4:38, good morning. The FAA issues an interim report on the 737 MAX 8, calling it operationally suitable. The draft report recommends more pilot training. Boeing says it has completed 96 flights, 159 hours in the air, with rewritten MAX 8 software. None of this puts MAX 8s back into service, but it does suggest that will happen at the end of this process. Southwest Airlines, owner of the largest American MAX 8 fleet, plans eventually to use MAX 8s on its routes to Hawaii. Some mainland flights to Hawaii could be extra full today as airlines try to recover from thousands of weekend flight cancellations from Chicago O'Hare to DFW. Passengers who missed connections hope to get here today, but the cancellations aren't over. The mainland today will see more snow and more thunderstorms. A new report by the Hawaii Appleseed Center says 48% of female workers will be affected by an increase in the minimum wage, 46% of Native Hawaiian workers, 64% of Pacific Islanders. The minimum wage is currently $10.10 an hour, which works out to $21,000 a year. Marsh saw 19 homes on Oahu sell for $1.5 million or more. Coldwell Banker says 16 went for more than $2 million. 4 of those sold for more than $3 million. EPA fines Star-Kissed tuna for new violations at its plant in American Samoa. EPA says Star-Kissed settled before, then kept dumping wastewater into Pongo Pongo Harbor. Last year's settlement was $6.5 million. The new penalties come only to $85,000. And this just happened. India's Jet Air runs out of cash and suspends all operations. After gaining 68 yesterday, the Dow this morning is up 3 points.
Yeah, hardly at all. All right, thanks a lot, Howard. Up next here on Sunrise and Women's Health News, why there's a new push to get expectant moms to get an ultrasound in their final month of pregnancy. And what was caught on a dash cam in Washington, D.C. last night. You see that to the left? We're going to tell you just how bright it was and what they think it was. Guy.
Well, we're going to see a beautiful beach day today. Temperatures are a little on the cool side right now, but they'll be warming up into the middle 80s as the sun gets higher in the sky. Lacey?
If you're planning on leaving Eva Beach to get into town this morning, leave early. We're tracking an accident that's blocking a lane on the Kunia Road on-ramp to the H1 eastbound. New details coming up next.